What is good? Ooh, fresh crack. We're back. Another day on this side of the dirt, and it's always a good one. I got the quad pod. I got the boys with me. Jay Wayne, Dougie, Big D. We're here, baby. Jay Wayne, let's get it rolling. Let's talk about some Jayden Higgins.
34th pick, top of the second round at Iowa State. This is your boy, Chev, right? You love this guy. How could you not?
This is as close to a flag plant as I can get at the wide receiver position this year. I mean, Jayden Higgins was one of, going into the Senior Bowl, I could not have been more excited about what I thought I was going to get from him, and he's met every expectation and exceeded it. So getting this 34th overall capital to the Texans, obviously, me being a Titans fan, I was a little pissed, and obviously the organization was pissed. Oh yeah, draft capital drink. So I was a little upset because we immediately traded out when he went 34th overall. We had the 35th pick. So, I mean, this is going to be great. Him and Nico with CJ Stroud, just back shoulder fades and slants and all the kind of things you can do with a guy who can move like he can at 6'4". So I'm really excited. Big D, how we feeling about this?
Oh, I'm loving it, man. 6'4", 215, 4'4". Wonderful weapon. Adding to that room, the depth. He's a shredder, man. There's nothing that I can't say about him that I don't like. I felt like it was a little odd originally, but it's starting to grow on me. I feel like the fit was, not quite round hole square peg. It was more like, okay, we're not quite Spider-Man meme, but we're kind of. But after doing a little bit more analysis and maybe a little bit more breathing, I'm feeling pretty good. What about you, Dougie?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, and I think our current rookie ADP is 2.9 for him. I expect to see that significantly jump. Right, probably we're talking into the first, beginning of the second, somewhere in that neighborhood. I could see him being taken in front of some players that we have coming up on the list that we're going to speak about here soon. But I really, really like the landing spot. I like the fact that his teammate's now going to be there with him from Iowa State. Although it does hurt the third wide receiver from Iowa State, Xavier Hutchinson, that I've had in some deep leagues. So that's crushing to that blow. But I love Jayden Higgins. Love where it's going to go. So,
and Minchie too. I'm a little.
R.I.P. to all the Tank Dell truthers, all the John Mechie truthers. Hey, perseverant human being. Yeah. I don't even know if that's perseverant human being. Yeah, pour one out.
Perseverant.
So.
The wife will clean that up later. Yep.
So obviously we're, those guys are cooked. We'll talk about another guy that they took as well. But I mean, they're pretty much gearing up to give CJ Stroud a nuclear cabinet of weapons over there in Houston. So,
Doug, you mentioned Jayden Higgins, right? 209 in the current pre-NFL draft ADP over at the FF Dynasty. You can sign up for the free Discord. We are doing mock drafts. We already got some kicked off. So we're going to be updating that ADP for post NFL draft here soon. So come on over to or join the Patreon $5 holler. You get first dibs at those mocks as well as access to ADP rankings, all kind of stuff. So he's got to come way up, right? Is he going to be in the first round of your rookie draft? Like you're going to take, we're about to get to these boys, but I can't see looking at this. He's got to be 112 or at least 2-1, right?
Yeah, definitely into the first, beginning second.
So I guess the question is, does he jump Matthew Golden, or is he right there neck and neck with Matthew Golden? Because I think Caleb kind of comes down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Caleb might come down from 111 to maybe 2-3.
Caleb Johnson? No way. He's going up. You're crazy. Come on.
No. Zero
chance.
Get
out of here.
Zero chance.
Fantastic landing spot. Draft capital. We don't got to get into it. We'll get to it later. But yeah, so that was a good question. Matthew Golden or
personally?
Jayden Higgins? Sure.
Yeah, I'm taking Jayden Higgins.
Yeah, I think so too.
Big D?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm Golden. Golden, baby. Not in a shower. Just regular.
Just
like Golden Brick Road. He's gonna bring me home, I think. I think that's where I lean. But subject to change. Give me still processing, still digesting this wonderful meal that we just had, and there were some gross parts and some great parts, but yeah, I think I'm golden right this second.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. We'll hit another one of Chev's better stay away from the cement aisle guys.
Better stay away from the cement aisle. What do you mean? I live in the cement aisle. I'm
right,
at
but I gotta
cement
I want
lane.
to watch out for the cement aisle when you're on it, bricked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, better watch out for that cement aisle when Chev's bricked up.
We got to be
About
careful.
doing man things
for everybody.
With Quinshon Judkins, right? So let's hit him. 36th overall, goes to the Browns at Ohio State. Chev, what you thinking here?
Listen,
to the moon.
Yeah, I went immediately to my local Lowe's, and I went and got some bricks, and I went and got some power tools. I just went outside and I started building. I didn't get any wood or anything. I just started building shit with my hands the minute that Quinshon Judkins went to Cleveland. And now all we got to do is avoid Jerome Ford, the noted and notorious jag of all jags, keeping the job away from Quinshon Judkins. I don't think that that's possible in any way, shape, or form. So we get a workhorse landing spot. One of the worst rushing teams in the NFL. They only had 8 rushing touchdowns, averaged 94 yards a game last year. But this is a guy that I feel like is a complete culture changer. So for me, it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. I'm team Quinshon, and I'm even more bricked up than I was before now that we have a solidified landing spot. Dougie, tell me why I'm crazy.
I don't think you're crazy. I really do like the fact that he landed in Cleveland. I do not like the fact that Sampson ended up landing in Cleveland as well. But
how does that affect that for you? I mean, is he going to take significant carries away from him? Because I feel like Ford is. I mean, I like Ford. I think he's a little bit better than a Jag, but he's got to be on his way out eventually, if not soon. And so they took this other guy in the 5th round, 4th round, right? So I mean, does that concern you, Doug?
I mean, I think you have to take that into consideration. I think it needs to be a part of your draft process, but I don't think I'm necessarily concerned because you're not going to take Judkins that early, right? And you have to also think that this was part of the move back, right? So when they made the trade with Jacksonville for Travis Hunter, they got 5, but they got this extra second, and I think this extra second helped take Judkins ahead of where Treveyon was going to go, because I'm not 100% convinced that anybody else was going to take Judkins ahead of Treveyon. But having said that, I do think that the landing spot is great. Sampson is probably just going to form that good 1-2 combo with him, but I think you're going to see Judkins get the majority.
He's at 1-8 in the ADP. Where you got him moving to, Big D? And what's your reaction to the Cleveland Browns taking him there?
Well, let's go with Cleveland first. I thought it was pretty hilarious that I guess he wasn't in the bathroom. I don't know if you caught that, but you know he wasn't around when they made the call. So he said he was getting lemonade, but we know what that means. He was in the
Granny, no.
But 1-8 I think is probably about appropriate. I mean, draft capital's there. He's the I don't know. I don't want to say reincarnation of Nick Chubb, but he just fits that mold, man. He just I don't know. It just feels good when I'm thinking about it. So middle to middling, like 1-7, 1-6. I could see some creep up there, especially if your rookie drafts are later and the heat starts going. You start seeing him hitting some people, but I think right now 1-8 would probably be about appropriate.
Chev, Travis Hunter, or Quinshon?
Oh, that's like asking me if I have a favorite kid.
You do.
I do have a favorite kid. I do.
Mine fluctuates. Like which one of us was being the least of an asshole at that time?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where this lands.
Who wants to be the favorite?
Right now they're both vying to be the favorite. So I've got to go. I'm still gonna go with Travis Hunter.
We don't have to get into it, but I think that it's not solidified that he's just going to be playing wide receiver. I mean, this is
you said this, and that is in direct opposition to what the GM said. You know,
Ellen DeGeneres, cool, man. You're going to tell Travis Hunter what to do. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, man, Travis Hunter's going to do what Travis Hunter wants to do, I think, and I want him to explore it and see how it goes, and I think they're going to. I think you got to explore all these possibilities with what you just gave up and where you took him. I don't know that door's closed.
They explained this. They said it. They were like, hey, man, he's going to start as primarily a wide receiver, package on defense, which means it's just going to be tipping your hand on when, like after a few weeks, teams are going to be like, okay, Travis Hunter comes in the game. They're running straight man or they're running cover 2. which they ran man and cover 2 at 2 of the highest rates, but they brought in a whole new coaching staff. So, I mean, we don't have to belabor that. We'll get into that another time.
Let's move on to the next guy.
Hunter, it turns into like a 20-minute thing. So don't make me do it right now.
I know. I'm trying to not go married to the game style with this too. I can't help myself. So, let's move to the next guy. Treveyon Henderson, 2 picks later, goes to the Packs.
Electrifying.
Lightning strikes in New England. They got Ramondre Stevenson. I'm gonna pull up the contract situation while I pass the torch here. Doug, how you feeling about Treveyon over in the New England Patriots?
I like the landing spot of Judkins better than I like the landing spot of Henderson for now. That could change when we dissect and we take a look at what's going to happen with Ramondre, because I think Ramondre is a much more threat to take away initial carries and touches from Treveyon than Sampson is to take away from Judkins. I think at the end of the day, Ramondre is probably going to be on his way out because this is a new regime with Vrabel in there, but I do like where Treveyon landed. I just like Judkins a little bit more. So I would definitely flip them in the rankings.
So the contract looks like he did sign an extension. I forgot about that.
4 years.
There's they've got him this year. Dead cap is 6, so he's staying for this year. The next year though, it's only 3.25 dead cap. But then this says that there's an out. The next year was 0 dead cap. It's Spot Track always picks and chooses when they think you have an out. Like sometimes it might be 9 million dead, and they're like, "There's an out." But I guess it's all relative, and maybe you don't. Maybe 3.25 million for a running back dead is like way more in running back money terms. You know what I mean? So, but who knows? And Chev's alluded to the fumbling problem and whatnot. But we'll get to that. Big D, Treveyon or Quinshon Judkins, and how do you like the landing spot there?
I do like the landing spot. I mean, I think it's a good spot for him. Vrabel is a master when it comes to the lines, and Drake May having that option, right? That release valve with some great pass protection. The dude doesn't have Treveyon doesn't strike fear in me like Judkins does. You know what I mean? Like personally, so for me, I'm still going Judkins over Treveyon. Just obviously there's an argument to be made if you're in, when we talk about full PPR and you talk about the pass catching ability, whatnot. But I think in the long run, I still feel more confident in that planted big boy than I do in Treveyon. So for me, what was our ADP
so
on?
We got Treveyon at 1.3 right now, pre NFL draft.
Yeah.
Judkins at 1.8.
I mean, there was an argument before the draft that he was the RB2, and a lot of people were very staunch in their opinions of Treveyon being the 1-2 because he could pass protect. I did a short on this earlier. He's pass protecting. He can catch passes. You saw in the highlights when he got drafted, he was running a double move against a corner and winning. So, I mean, it's kind of an ultimate weapon type of deal that the fact that he's what I think he's what people hoped Antonio Gibson could be. Ironically, teammates, but yeah.
And for a minute, Gibson was, he just wasn't really suited to carry it 20 times a game, which kind of got him into some injury issues there. And Big D, I think I got to disagree there. I am a little scared of Treveyon when he's got the ball in space. It's like I'm at the edge of my seat. And if I'm rooting for the other team, I am scared that this might be a house call, So he's not about to punch me in the face, Marshawn Lynch over and over and over and over again.
Right.
But he might run straight by me and I don't even touch this man in this six right there. So I think he does strike fear, if you will. But you still taking Quinshon over there, Chev?
I legitimately think that this is going to play out like Alvin Kamara's rookie year.
Wow.
Well, that'd be awesome. Because there's a little bye window there. And every time Kamara touched the ball, it was a touchdown, basically, but they didn't give it to him very much.
In all seriousness, when I saw this landing spot, and I'm, being very familiar with the way Mike Vrabel likes to do things, it was like, okay, so clearly you don't believe in Ramondre. You're going to go get your guy that's going to be the guy for the next 4 or 5 years. He does all the dirty work. I mean, he didn't, they're probably not going to ask him to pass block a ton, but knowing that he can, and it's not just going to be a pass route every single time he's in on third downs. I don't think Ramondre is any world beater as a pass protector either, which is why they got Antonio Gibson. So yeah, I would. A couple people have texted me and said like, "Hey, would you take Quinshon or if I've got the 1.5, would you take Quinshon or would you take would you take Treveyon? And I with that landing spot, even though it's a clear path, like Cleveland might not throw a forward pass this year, guys. Like it's really tough. It's really tough for me to look at Drake May, look at what all they've done to surround him, and say, go bet on Joe Flacco in that whole situation. I mean, am I taking crazy pills here?
No, I mean, I think that's a pretty honest assessment given how bricked up you are with Quinshon. So,
yeah, I'm torn. If I have a bunch of 1.5s, I'm going to split it evenly, and I'm going to take Quinshon in 4, and I'm going to take 50-50.
You got to diversify that portfolio. Drink. I would say that if they're not throwing forward passes and they do have a pretty good defense, that probably means Judkins getting the ball a lot. So that's not, that might not be a bad thing either. And Flacco, I mean, Flacco's elite again. Like he could sustain some fantasy production around him.
Is he though?
Well, I also think the conversation is half point versus full point, right?
Get rid of the half point. I don't even want to talk about them, boy. Get in a real league, fellas. Get in the full PPR. What are we doing? I can't make this caveat for you. Like, if you're playing a non-PPR, then stop.
No.
And half point is basically non-PPR. You just dipping your toe.
Non-PPR is nothing.
No, bro. You're probably using a safe word on a regular basis. You're playing a non-PPR.
Right.
Macaroni and cheese.
Actually, I think that's still handwritten. The standard leagues are still handwritten.
Yeah, you don't even use computers to do fantasy if you're doing non-PPR. But let's cook it. Let's kick it on down the road though. Let's talk about Casey's guy. We don't have to spend much time here because I know he's going to want to talk. He's going to want to talk a whole lot of Luther Burden III. So we'll keep it surface level here, and we'll let the boss on the mics come back and really lay into it. No Diddy. But he goes 39th. And this was a shock to everybody involved. Let me ask this. Was it a bigger shock for him to go 39th or for Ibuka to go 19th, both to less than ideal immediate production landing spots? Big D, talk to me nice about this one.
I mean, personally, I had Burton pretty high, so I felt like he was going to go. Ibuku, I think the landing spot made a lot of sense, but the thing that was shocking to me, which is an obvious one now, post draft, is just where he went. That room right there for the Bears is just, it's unbelievable. I'm still I'm still in my Odunze kind of like, where am I now type of phase. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that part's pretty hard. But for me, it wasn't necessarily surprising. It was just more so surprising where he landed. The two players were quite a bit different. So I think that the fit where they were going to fit and what, how the draft came to them was going to be a little bit different. But from a long-term perspective, I was really bullish on Burton. Now I'm semi-bullish on Burton. So I guess we'll go from there. What about
Doug,
you?
how does this affect your Rome and Dunze? You worried about Rome?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Love
it.
Let's go.
I'm not. I think
must buy now, Rome and Dunze.
Right. I mean, I'm keep going.
We're 10 toes down for Rome. This means that DJ Moore is on the way out.
Yep.
But that contract's pretty. I mean, he's gonna be there a couple of years, right?
He'll be there too.
I mean, we're looking at 25 and 26.
That's too much money. But we were on the Patreon show last night, and someone made the point about, or maybe it was in the chat. Somebody. It wasn't me. Whoever did. It was a good point, right? Ben Johnson coming over there. Look at Detroit, right? You had 2 running backs. You had 2 wide receivers and a tight end. It was Zach. Every one of those guys is startable every week, worthy of being in your starting lineup. Now, is Caleb Williams, Jared Goff? That sounds like a stupid question to ask. And are the Bears the Lions? Obviously not. The line is not the same, and that it doesn't equal the same thing. But I mean, it's a good offense. Rome's a stud. He's coming into his own. He's been a buy and now he's even more of a buy, right? You just got a little dip in there. I like Luther too. You can't overreact because it's crowded or the landing spot or whatever. The talent is what you got to bet on, right? So, you're fine taking Rome. And so, what was your did you like, were you a fan of Luther Burden pre-draft? And are you bummed about this spot, Doug, or what are you feeling about that?
I'm a Mizzou fan, so obviously I love Luther. I mean, that's my guy. But I think at the same time, I had no concerns when I saw the landing spot. That's actually a great landing spot in a high energy offense for the next 4+ years, right? I think we talked about it again with DJ Moore possibly on the way out after 2 seasons, probably right. But you also got to realize they don't have that star power at running back. They don't have Gibbs and Montgomery like they did in Detroit. So that to me is going to funnel more out to the receivers. And he might not produce in 2025, but right. 2026, I would definitely be all in on Burden. I think we know where he's at. So
I just also want to say that I agree with everything that you guys are saying. I said, I'm a little nervous as a Odunze, but I'm still buying Odunze because I still believe in the talent. The thing that concerns me for 2025 outside of the crowdedness is just what are they doing at the tight end position? Because it almost feels like, with that high end capital that they spent on Loveland, like in Cole Kmet, everybody wants to say what they want to say about Cole Kmet, but I mean, he's still, in my opinion, a pretty decent tight end that I think is going to have a lot of play in this offense. And so are they going to do a lot of 12 personnel, which when you start adding all the columns and who's going to be on the field, right? That's where it gets me a little bit nervous for 25 and possibly 26, but I think they have it out on Kmet in 26. So, but you are right. I mean, there isn't an alpha at the running back position there that really, I think they're serviceable, but they're nothing like what Ben Johnson had in Detroit, obviously. So, I think for the long run, I'm in. I think that there's a couple different strategies. I know we're not going to go too deep on that, but one of those things is that he may be a player that I don't draft right out the gate because I plan on picking him up later on when everybody cools on him. Yeah, exactly. So, but that's for strategy talk later. Subscribe and when follow us, and you'll hear that later on.
Hey, click that free Discord link. So shout out to Cole Kmet though. Reason I'll throw the clip up if I can find it. Casey had to take a pie to the face for Cole Kmet. So every time I think of Cole Kmet, I think of that pie to the face. So we got some pie to the faces out there for some Chase Brown, but we'll get to that later. Chev, we got Luther Burden. He's at 1.9 in the ADP. What's your reaction to the landing spot in the Rome Odunze impact, and is that moving up or down in the ADP? Answer all in one sentence.
For me, it's got to move. It's got to move down slightly. Okay. I mean, the
other guys are coming up. Someone's got to go down, right?
There's only one. Yeah, there's only one ball in Chicago, and we got to see how it works. So, just the landing spot creates a little bit of uncertainty. There's no question about the talent of Luther Burden. Just this could be the Gibbs in that offense. That's the one point that I wanted to hit on
because they're dynamic and
because there isn't a guy that's as dynamic with the ball in his hands as Gibbs. You could immediately be looking at Luther Burden, getting those touches, creating at the line of scrimmage. They did it with DJ Moore, but it didn't work quite like that because DJ Moore isn't fucking Jahmyr Gibbs. And that's no knock to DJ Moore, wide receiver 6 in 2023. But Luther Burden's a different level of athlete with his, with the ball in his hands. Is he the most polished wide receiver, complete, running all the routes? Is he running all the routes? No. But when he gets the ball in his hands, it's really exciting. I think that he slides and that creates a pocket of value. If I can get him at the beginning of the second, I'm doing that all day long. I'm actually in a draft right now where I've got the 2-2. And if he slides there, that's an auto select for me.
And I
want to see where Rome Odunze is in the ADP for startup pre-NFL draft. 4-3.
I want to say 4-7. Oh, 4-3.
4-3.
Okay. That's probably gonna go down there, huh?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a buying opportunity.
Absolutely. And I think with Burden and Igbuka, I think that you're kind of pairing them together, right? Like both of them are going to slide in your rookie drafts. Those are two players that we're definitely bringing down while some of these other players get some helium. But we always talk about buying talent, not the situation, right? Because situations are constantly changing. We talked about this in Patreon last night. But I think the biggest thing that you want to do is make sure you're buying this talent. So I think middle of the second is definitely where you want to try to get these guys.
All right, let's move along. We got another show favorite to get to. Tre Harris out of Ole Miss gets drafted to the Chargers. Fantastic landing spot. We love the talent. There can't be more of a skyrocketing riser then Tre Harris. Chev, how you feeling?
Oh, so we're in a vaunted double jeopardy bricked up situation because first we had
You went to the cement store.
Yeah, I went actually and bought a cement mixing truck, and I'm just sitting outside. I'm actually recording
rumble
this
turn
from the
tumble
cement
truck.
So, yeah, Tre Harris going to the Chargers. This was something that I've been all over in a lot of mock drafts I do because it made too much sense. They signed the ghost of Mike Williams, who's who's kind of been been on the way out since he pissed Aaron Rodgers off. It didn't work in New York. It didn't work in Pittsburgh after that. Like, what are we doing? So he takes a year, and maybe he doesn't win the job outright in camp, but I think they're going to figure out pretty quick that this is as close of an approximation to Michael Crabtree as we're going to get. And I think that that's going to be a smash in this offense with Justin Herbert. That offense taking a step forward. Do they lean on the run game as heavily because you have a guy with a howitzer attached to his shoulder in Justin Herbert? So I think this offers a little bit more balance to the offensive force. I mean, there's another guy that we're not going to talk about on this episode that they landed as well. So I think all parties involved profited here with the selection of Tre Harris.
Shout out to Aqib Talib.
Yeah,
he's got a crap
chain snatch. Hey,
right?
I bet you won't snatch Tre Harris' chain.
Big D, how you feeling about Tre Harris over there? Where's he at in the rookie ADP? Coming up for sure. Where do we have him?
Like 2-2, 2-3,
2-4 in the FFD pre NFL draft ADP.
Yeah, there we go.
Moving on up. Big D, how you feeling about Tre Harris in the LAC?
Oh man, I love this fit. I love you already laid it out. FFD's been higher on Tre Harris than consensus. I think you said the ADP for us. I would guess that outside of our bubble, it's probably even higher. For me, he's a middle of the first round. Towards your competitor. Like if I have like 110 to 1, I'm trying to I'm hoping he falls to me. I might move up. If your draft is next week, I think you're going to be able to get him at a screaming value. By August, I think his value will probably be closer to that mid first, maybe 107, 105 to 107 range. I think by August. Right now, it's probably top of the second. So.
Man, I wish that you guys would settle down and maybe wait a minute to do your rookie drafts, but whatever. Have at it, kids.
You do you.
This is as close to real football as we're gonna get for another 120 plus days. You let me be horned up for a one weekend.
Come on, man! You can't get that thing. I know it's picking up Wi-Fi, but it can't get any more horned up. You had the whole draft.
Hey, you haven't even seen. Wait till I start talking about Brashard Smith.
Just wait. Wait till you see my.
You're going to see that microphone raised up once that starts happening.
Hit us up, Hims. All right,
Dougie,
where are we at here? Jeez, derailing this thing.
I don't know how you follow that, but tell us about Tre Harris.
I think every sentiment you guys threw out, I think, is exactly what it needs to be. I really think that what it also does is it elevates Ladd McConkey a lot, and that's kind of a player that I would be looking at possibly maybe tearing back from if you have an elite receiver. And I'm not talking top 2 or top 3, but I think Ladd can easily enter in the 8, 9, 10 range in Dynasty, and I wouldn't be upset about it because I think this is going to open up the field a whole lot more. And then obviously the addition of Hampton in the run game. So
love it. All right, shall we move along? We got a bit of a surprise. I would say maybe we got RJ Harvey going to the Broncos, 60th overall pick in the second round. Draft capital, landing spot, done deal, right? Got to take him. How we feeling about RJ Harvey there, Chev? He gets his glasses.
Well, RJ Harvey's 24 years old, and he had a late breakout age, and he's not going to be good because he didn't do it against quality competition.
He did it in the Big 12. Okay. So RJ Harvey's 24 years old. I don't care. I don't
Don't sound like that, Chip.
Does he play American tackle football? Well, when I hand him the ball, Dougie, when I hand him the ball, does he do cool things with it? Check. Okay. Can he catch the ball out of the backfield even though UCF forgot about the forward pass sometimes? Yes. And now he gets Sean Payton. Okay. Last year we weren't all the way in on Bo Nix, but what we need to do, honestly, what we have to do is stop fading guys when they land in a landing spot with a guy that can call fucking plays.
Yes.
That's what Sean Payton, we know Sean Payton can do. So I mean, I can't get the cement truck any closer to my bathtub, but I would bathe in that shit right now because this whole list is just all guys that I'm super pumped about outside of maybe Luther Burden a little bit. But I mean, everybody else here is just, I mean, it's fantastic. These are all great landing spots. And I mean, well, Treveyon's not an incredible landing spot, but it's going to be an incredible landing spot because I know what Vrabel's going to do. So I apologize for taking this long and getting too excited about this, but I feel like people aren't really talking about this enough. Hit me with the ADP. Tell me where he is so I can tell you he's going to go higher than that shit.
Well, first off, if you've been experiencing an erection for longer than 4 hours, you may need to call your doctor.
I'll never call my doctor.
You know one thing I'm never doing is asking my doctor if my heart is healthy enough for sex. There's no way I'm ever going to ask that question. You know, like
if this is the bacon sandwich that kills me, then so be it.
Bacon sandwich. That's a word for the vagina. Is that what? No.
Yeah, euphemism, motherfucker. You just crashed it.
I think he was going more the high cholesterol though, but you know.
Well, I was talking about dying having sex though. He went to a meat sandwich, and I was like, I'm looking for more of a compact thing. Anyway, RJ Harvey's 3.5 at the rookie ADP.
3.5.
Yeah. Okay,
that's going on up.
Yeah, that's over.
Yep.
RJ Harvey or Caleb Williams, Doug?
I mean, I think it still has to be Caleb Williams.
Hey, I love it. Big D, what you got?
Same.
Wait, is that a serious question?
Well, everybody last night was taking RJ Harvey. What you're
people are going to look at that draft capital.
Caleb Williams. You meant Caleb Johnson?
Oh yeah. He meant Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Williams. I said Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I followed it up with Caleb Williams. So yeah.
How did I? And we were already talking about Johnsons. So yeah, Caleb Johnson or RJ Harvey.
Me personally,
sure.
me myself.
We got to go back around because I said Caleb Williams. So
yeah, me. Am I taking
Chev? Yeah, what you got?
Yes, I'm taking RJ Harvey.
All right.
I'll fight about this tomorrow with Casey, but right now with no Casey, I'm taking RJ Harvey.
I'm taking Caleb Johnson.
Big D, you know I meant Caleb Johnson, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I think I'm taking Caleb Williams for sure. But outside of that, I'm taking I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go RJ Harvey, honestly. I just, Chev laid it out perfectly. I mean, Sean Payton is just, he was trying to get that run game going last year. I don't have the stats pulled up in front of me, but I know that they were trying to hand it off, throw it to somebody, do something. And that offensive line is just, it's terrific, man. So anyway, for me, it's RJ Harvey. But they're pretty close. He's a meteor, man. It's a star. Hopefully, in this case, your draft is soon because you might be able to get a pretty good price on him. I think there's going to be a lot of basement dwellers that are like, oh, that's a reach, as they're drooling over their keyboard with their candy bar. But for me, I'm with Chev. Like I've got my hard hat on. I went and got my thermos. It's filled up. We're on that construction side. We're not even waiting for the flaggers, dude. We're getting to work. We got to get going. So I like Harvey.
Yeah, I think to sum it up, I think, and I don't know much about RJ Harvey. I'm more producing this year than deep in the all 22s over and over again. I miss those days, but I have watched a lot of Caleb, and I know Casey loves Caleb. I talked to him a little bit, and it was like you got to take up RJ Harvey. He's got to move up, right? But with Caleb, if you love them, you love the tape, you love the fit, you love the landing spot, right? The draft capital is there. He's a third round guy. It didn't fall. It isn't terrible. He didn't go as soon as RJ Harvey, and you could argue which spot is probably better. I guess probably right now it's looking better in the Bronco land, but Caleb Williams is a perfect fit for what they do there and what they want to do. And he's a phenomenal runner, draft capital, and landing spot. Like you got to what did I say? Caleb Williams again? Jesus Christ. We're about to move to Kyle Williams. So fucking up here. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Kyle Williams. He's up next. 69th overall, taken by the Patriots. Chev, just take the floor, bro. Here's your guy. Kyle Williams, right? Everyone knows about Kyle Williams. So if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Guys, I'll be in the comments waiting for my apology. Everybody talking about process and all that. And now my guy gets the draft capital. We were in the film, we were in the all 22, and we were telling you, hey man, Kyle Williams, there's something here. There's something good here. And then Vrab sees it and takes him at pick 69. Nice. At 69. So I'm thrilled about this. Surround your young quarterback with weapons and let him develop. We know Drake May's the guy. There's no questions about whether or not he's the guy. We were questioning the offensive ecosystem. They go out, they get a franchise left tackle, what we hope is a franchise left tackle. They go get an ultimate weapon that in the style of an Alvin Kamara and Treveyon Henderson. Then they go get Kyle Williams. They spent $69 million on Stephon Diggs in free agency. Like all of this just points to this New England ecosystem being one of the values right now in fantasy. So, I mean, I'm not sure where's Kyle Williams going in our ADP. I mean, probably 4th round.
4-7.
Is he even going? Yeah. What'd you say?
4-7.
4-7. Yeah, you can cancel Christmas on that, bro. We were just making fun of one of our friends of the pod because he went in the 210 in one of the mocks that they're doing. So I'm thrilled about this, and I think that the 4-7 is not gonna hold up. Dougie, talk to me nice.
I'm right in line with you. I think when you look at our ADP of 4-7, it's laughable, right? I mean, wide receiver 14 because players ahead of him are Xavier Restrepo at wide receiver 12, 11, Isaiah Bond at wide receiver 9. So you're gonna see the skyrocket, and you'll see it in the ADP here within the next month or so. I think everything that you said is extremely valid. It was funny because the guy that was in the YouTube comments as well was like, "Oh, these jokers taking a 4th round receiver in the 2nd round of a rookie mock. Come on, man."
Which we were using a mock draft to predict to be the landing spot, and he was a 4th rounder in that mock. And I get it, but it's a nice little poetic justice when the universe throws you a little bone like this, though. So and shout out to Kamini Vidal as well before we get too far out of this realm of things. Get him on the stretcher. We got to get this guy out of here.
All this is Chef's kiss.
Big D, Kyle Williams. I got him right, I think.
You did.
Caleb Johnson.
Kyle Williams. First off, go Cougs, right? Cam Ward was a Coug. Kyle Williams coming out of Washington State. I mean, I've enjoyed him for quite a while. We brought him up. What was that? I think January or February, one of our Patreons across the pond shouted out and said, "Hey, what you guys feeling on Kyle Williams?" And we were all like, "Oh, we like him, but we haven't talked about him enough." So we really started to cook in and dive in and did a couple shows on him. And I mean, I'm stumbling over my words because I'm just excited for him, man. I think that he landed in a great spot. I'm a little sad. Poured one out for Pop Douglas. He landed in a great spot. I think that he's, I think that he can grow into, I don't want to say this directly, but I think he has a lot of similarities in the way that Diggs plays. So the way the chance that he gets to play around that, watch from a professional and see that preparation, to me is even higher in his stock. I know that's kind of those outside liar thing, outside the normal way that we look at it. Yeah, you can't analyze that in a spreadsheet, but man, you watch
There's
a lot
no
of
column for headspace.
Yeah, you watch a lot of these rookie wide receivers, and obviously talent is one thing, but coaching and mentorship is also another big part of it. So I think that this was a perfect spot for him. And I don't know, man. I'm thrilled for the kid. I'm thrilled for his family, and I'm thrilled for Chev. I just hope his desk doesn't fall over. So, but I love it.
Oh man.
In 3.5 hours, Chev's gonna have to call his doctor.
Yeah. No, dude, I'm just gonna sleep floating on my stomach. It's gonna look like I've been taken by an apparition.
You gotta try cock push-ups. You can only do one.
I can only do one.
Shout out to Tenacious D.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on Kyle Williams?
No, man. Let's go on before I go vision deaf about this.
All right, we're about out of time, but let's get through a couple more here. We got Bhayshul Tuten going to the Jags. Trevor Etienne, my guy. Well, it's a big blow here, right? How you guys feeling about Bhayshul Tuten, Doug? How'd you like that landing spot?
I love the landing spot. Like you said, rest in peace, Etienne. But I think Etienne's still going to have a good second act somewhere.
By the dip, baby.
Absolutely, still in the talent. So I think, but going at the top of the fourth round was really good for Tuten. I do think that he's going to resemble. I'm not saying he is, but he will try to resemble or emulate the Bucky Irving role that Liam instilled in last year in Tampa. So I think this is a good landing spot. I know they did take another tailback later in the draft. Yeah, LaQuint Allen.
Yeah.
In the 7th, but I do think he's not going to replace or he will try to emulate Bucky. He is armed with better speed, but I think Bucky's elusiveness is the difference there. So we'll see what Liam does, but I think it's a great landing spot, good draft capital, and they obviously believe in him.
Draft capital. So the death of Bigsby, I think, is more affirmative to me than Etienne. Am I missing that, or?
Well, the thing is, fellas, Etienne's they exercised the 5th-year option. So we're going to get Etienne. We've got 2 more years of Tank Bigsby. Where does this leave, to me, Bhayshul Tuten? Bhayshul Tuten with an opportunity to win the job in the preseason, or at least win the lion's share of the carries that are going to be distributed between Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne. Where does that leave him? What does that look like?
I think he's probably the odd man out for a minute. I mean, this is more of a future move for them because Etienne is fantastic. And if you didn't know, him and Trevor Lawrence went to college together, and they're in Simpatico. And when Etienne's healthy and Trevor's healthy, and when Etienne catches the ball, which he usually does, but it's fantastic. Like, he's a really good player. And that team's just not been that great, and the line's not that great. And there's a lot of things working against them, but should be turning around and moving in the right direction. And they did sign the 5th-year extension or
5th-year option.
They signed the 5th-year option, so he's going to be there. We saw Tank Bigsby be really good on the field. Like, he's worthy of getting carries. They're not going to be like so good that they're, that I don't think there's room for Tuten year 1, right? That's how I see this playing out, because he's not going to take Etienne off the field. I doubt that. And I think Tank Bigsby showed enough to, I don't know that he's going to beat him out either. So this is more of we're losing Etienne. We're not going to sign him next year. So, that's kind of my take on it. Big D.
Well, that feels like it's a Clemson take. I don't know about you, but
everybody likes Etienne. I don't really have to pimp him that hard, right? Like,
no, I'm kidding. I basically agree with you. I think that I think it's going to be, I think it's what a lot of the NFL teams are going for, the Sonic and Knuckles, the Thunder and Lightning, however you want to state it. What I will say, man, is it's going to be fun to be a Jaguar fan, I think, because they added some weapons, and Tuten is fast, man. He's rooting Tuten. That might be his nickname for me, man, because that dude can fly. So he's if we have two running backs on the field at the same time, right? I'm thinking it's going to be ET and Tuten, as long as we'll see how the camp goes out. But just the way that I feel, it's going to be hard to keep that kind of weapon off the field. I don't think Bigsby gives you that side. And honestly, I mean, the upside, the game-breaking speed, I don't even think ET fits that quite. But I think the veteran presence of ET, and like you said, the connection with Lawrence, is that's legit. I think there's something to it. So, but for me,
this isn't a Clemson take. I usually, if anything, I don't push Clemson players just to avoid that. But I missed out on pushing T. Higgins harder than I wanted because I didn't want to seem like a homer. But
Here's the issue. Here's the issue, boys. In 2 years, Tank Bigsby's caught 16 passes for 60 yards. Okay. 16 passes for 60 yards. Now, Liam Cohen coming from the Bucks brings one of the most creative and effective screen games in the entire NFL. So that screams to me value for guys that can catch passes. Bhayshul Tuten's a little bit better of a pass catcher, in my opinion, than Tank Bigsby. So this kind of creates some uncertainty as far as Tank Bigsby goes. I do agree. This is a future move to say, hey, we can make, Tank Bigsby our, early down banger, and then we can scheme the things up for Bhayshul Tuten, or Bhayshul Tuten just shows enough to win the job outright. But I think Tank Bigsby's been good enough on the ground, but like Gladstone didn't pick Tank Bigsby. This is a Gladstone pick, Ellen the GM. So I'm anxious to see how this plays out. I love seeing him get 4th round draft capital. He's a super athlete, but if we're thinking about, my bad, I did draft capital again, but you're going to end up getting trashed if I keep this up. So, my thought process is just kind of, that's a weapon that's going to be able to be versatile and be utilized in the Liam Cohen offense. I don't know that Tank Bigsby fits that skill set.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're about out of time, fellas, but there were 2 more guys on the list. So I want to throw it to Doug to get a little Jalen Royals with your Chiefs over there, get a little quick reaction, and then we can finish up with Chev and Brashard Smith.
I just love the fact that Jalen Royals fell 2 rounds later than he probably should have. I think he's going to be a great replacement for Hollywood. I think he's going to be able to learn under the tutelage of Hollywood and the rest of the receiver room. It's another weapon for Mahomes, and I think it's fantastic. I think we couldn't have asked for probably a better landing spot with where he fell into the draft. I think it's great. Andy Reid's going to utilize the strength and the yak in that man. And he makes catches on the perimeter, right, that are ridiculous. And that's exactly what Mahomes needs. He needs that downfield threat, 4.4 speed. It's going to be great.
Chef, get something in with Jalen Royals there, Chef.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, we're talking about, we've been ever since that throw in the Super Bowl, we've been saying like, hey man, maybe just maybe they're going to go back to that Legion of Zoom shit that we all knew and loved when Mahomes was the Dynasty quarterback 1, and we couldn't pry him out of an owner's hands, with the jaws of life. And so now he slid back. We should have been buying the dip, and we talked about this at various points. We should have been buying the dip.
You're welcome.
Everything that they're fucking telling us is that they're going back to the Legion of Zoom. And all these weapons that they have now are just, hey man, we need guys that can win on the perimeter. We need guys that can create in space. Sky Moore fucking sucks. Justin Watson's somewhere else now. He can't play dead. And Hollywood was hurt last year, or we would have gotten an earlier preview of this. Right. So we get year 2 Xavier Worthy. We get Rashee Rice back from probably the 3-game Alvin Kamara suspension. We've got the ghost of Travis Kelce still able to get open and do, stuff within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. And now you add Jalen Royals, who not only was one of the best run after catch threats in the entire draft, but he had a 64% contested catch rate in 2024 before he got hurt. So I think that this is about as good of a landing spot for him and the next guy. But I couldn't be happier. I was so happy to see this. I was pissed because I thought the Titans would take him at one of the 4th round picks, but we did some other shit. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to be anyway. But yeah, this is a great landing spot. I'm excited for it. And the Legion of Zoom is on the way back.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's the one positive about what the Titans did is that'll help you with not having to call your doctor. But Jalen Royals and Brashard Smith are the only 2 offensive players that the Chiefs drafted this year. So right there, that tells you they already have what they want. They had a plan of what they want, which is, I mean, I'm saying this, but it's freaking obvious because it's it's Andy Reid, right? It's Patrick Mahomes. So I don't really have much to add on that you guys haven't added to Jalen Royals, but I did want to just at the end of this maybe talk about Brashard Smith a little bit. I know 7th round, he there's nothing, it's garbage, blah blah blah. But I don't know. I think Chev might have a different different approach. What
Dude,
do you say?
I feel like Farmer Fran and the sprinklers on Waterboy right now. I could not be more excited. I yelled out loud when I saw Brashard Smith went to the Chiefs. I could not believe it. He's been I said the ideal thing would be for him to land in a place like the Broncos where they're going to throw passes to him a bunch, or just playing the Jerick McKinnon role that he played for the Chiefs back in the day in 2023, Dougie?
Yeah.
Was it 2023?
That was a hot fire roll for a second.
Yeah. So exactly. So now you get a guy who was a former college receiver who transitioned to running back, was great at running back, showed great contact balance, could run between the tackles. I would even argue that he's a better in between the tackles runner than RJ Harvey, and he's a superior pass catcher to just about any other running back in the draft. So he goes to the Chiefs, and it's almost like, how do they keep getting away with this? How did nobody see this and be like, man, we could definitely use this? And he goes to the Chiefs, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, we could definitely use a guy that runs 4.3 that can catch passes and run between the tackles, and he's extremely tough.
Yeah. Right.
Like, what are we doing here? So if you've listened to this show for any period of time since I've been on it,
shout out to you.
Know that I love Brashard Smith, and now I love him even more.
I couldn't get on the group chat fast enough and just yell, boom, baby. Like, got him. I mean, third team All-American all-purpose last year, right? I mean, you talked about former receiver at Miami, comes over, kills it at SMU. They're rolling. And he's obviously the heir apparent to Pacheco at this point, right? We know that Pacheco is going to be gone after the season, and we know that Brashard Smith's going to be the replacement. So very exciting.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I don't know if we know both of those things, but I love the confidence. I'm down. I like it, and he's going to be a cheap stab. You'll go get a cheaper Chiefs running back stab, a light. What do we say? Lamp, right? Go get a Chiefs lamp. It's a great lamp because I love lamp. All right, boys. Well, I appreciate y'all for joining us. I mean, shout out to Doug and Big D and obviously Chev. Like, it's been a grind this weekend. We've been going. We're gonna keep at it, keep pumping this shit out. So make sure you like, subscribe. If you listen on the podcast, please hit us with that 5-star review. Just tap it in. Just go tap the Spotify, the iTunes. Click the link to win a free T-shirt. I'm about to give away like 3 or 4 of those things here soon. Nice. I promise. And then I think we're about to like maybe come up with a different promotional thing for the 5-star. So there's no reason for you guys not to go give this 5 stars. And if you listen to this show on the Player Profiler feed, make sure you go subscribe to the FF Dynasty feed because it's probably been out for a couple of days over there. It's a crowded room of really good shows here over on the Player Profilers, and we don't always get in time, and some of the shows don't even make it in. So if you want more of the FF Dynasty quicker, make sure you go over to our feed. Definitely hit that subscribe button. All kinds of stuff going over on the Patreon, the ADP that you've seen. Join the mock drafts with us. We got rankings. I've been working on the draft kit. You've been seeing some of that in this YouTube video that I'm about to finalize. They'll be available over there in one of the tiers. So can't thank y'all enough. Make sure you go check out Chev on the Twitters at Chev90. He's doing the most, and we got to give his unit a break here. Get the FF out of here. So go settle down. Maybe smoke a cigarette or something. Chev, we'll see you tomorrow. Hey, we appreciate y'all for joining us. Peace.